Hello again. This is me responding back to you. So, one day ago, it was about 24 hours, almost exactly, I put out a video showing you this haul of new Lego and Mega Construx stuff and asked for feedback on what I should do about some of this. And I won't repeat all the stuff that I talked about in that because that's already done. This is about what you told me, and I'm going to tell you what I'm going to do based on what you told me. First of all, thank you very much for your feedback. Over 1,300 comments in 24 hours, which is tremendous, but even more tremendous than that, because ultimately a number is just a number. More tremendous than that is the content of those comments, because there's so much, so many of you took the time to really sit down and let me know your thoughts in long form. So I really, really appreciate that. And even if you didn't have enough time to write out like a full paragraph, just any heartfelt, real, just honest, blunt feedback and direction or suggestions, all of that cumulatively was super, super useful. And I'm going to be able to respond to that directly and act based on that very directly. So thank you all for caring enough to put that kind of time in, because I know it's YouTube, it's mass media. You go through and you just swipe through stuff. So I know in my heart that anytime somebody stops to leave a comment that's more than just an emoji or something, that has meaning, and the more is actually covered there, the better, and the more meaning is in it. So one last time, thank you for that. Here's what I'm going to do. First of all, plenty of the Mega Construx, especially Mega Construx Halo folks, came through and let me know that you still exist, that you're still out there, you're still looking for stuff. I am going to review this whole series for sure, and I'm also going to try to catch up on some of the stuff that I also have that I just haven't covered up to this point. The Friends stuff, a lot of the Friends fans, and not just Friends fans, but fans of me doing Friends sets came through with support. I appreciate that. I already told you that I was definitely going to review at least these two. I'm probably going to do them separately, because the more I look at it, the more this looks like it may take some time. So it'll probably be worth doing two separate videos for those. But I will definitely be, I'll put my normal effort into those and just see how things turn out, see how people respond to that. Maybe it's time for me to pick up doing a little bit more of some of the Friends things that I'm personally interested in, and or that I think that a lot of you will be personally interested in. We'll see. I think this will be a good test. Almost nobody said they want to see the Final Wave ship set, combined ship that they came out with for the Lego Movie 2. So that's fine, but doing this and the Sparkle Babies set, once I'm ever able to find that somewhere I can purchase it in my local region, which shouldn't take too long, which shouldn't be too long. Most folks said, yeah, go ahead and do this review and that together in one. That's exactly what I'm going to do. With the Minecraft stuff, the more I look at it, the low number of parts on this probably makes sense to put this in with the Creeper Mine set as well, but I'm still waiting to get that Creeper Mine set, and I'll make a determination on that based on how big that set really is, whether I'll combine those two into one. I'll probably do the builds separately, though. With the Creator 3-in-1s, that's where I got the most useful information that I didn't have a specific leaning myself. I told you what I felt about it, but I didn't have any idea what the responses from all of you were going to be. I didn't know what the trend was going to be. So here's how that has worked out. This is an empty box now because I've already built it, and many of you may have seen the build videos already up. For the main build here, the overwhelming majority of you said, yeah, build this, forget about those because they don't even look interesting at all. Like, if so many people said, if I did my regular 3-in-1 review and did this and then got to these, or whichever way I did it, a lot of you would just skip over these because you can look at the pictures and see that you're not interested, or see basically everything there is to know about them. You're more interested in this. For some people, there was the general feeling that if I'm going to do a 3-in-1, I should do all three. But like I said, the overwhelming majority support the idea that the time that I would have to spend taking things apart, rebuilding things, is not worth it for this kind of stuff. On the other hand, for this one, which is not an empty box yet because I haven't opened it and built it, for this one, a lot of you asked for me to do all three. At the very least, this and this, but because so many of you do want to see all three, part of that coming from the fact that this is a structure build and it's a relatively rare thing for us to get dedicated structure builds for things that will just work in a normal city, town kind of setting. Yeah, I'm going to do all three based on your feedback. I was strongly leaning towards just doing this, especially given the size and everything, but you guys want me to do all three. A lot of you want me to do all three. At least two. I'm going to go ahead and do all three. And I'm going to take the combination of the feedback that I got on these two and on Creator 3-in-1 sets in general, and I'm going to take that to heart. I'm going to use that in the future and use that to help make determinations. I mean, I may ask more questions like this in the future on specific sets, but generally the overriding or the overarching over something, insert word here, prevailing thought that was shared out there, the prevailing idea is that for things like this, especially vehicles where the side builds or the alternate builds are just not that good, are far behind the main build, just do the main build. And for things like buildings, especially more substantive ones like this, it's definitely worth it in many cases to do multiple. And then with a lot of the Creator 3-in-1 creatures sets and things like that, you know, some of their best sets that they tend to do in the $20, $30 to $50 range, I would say, 30, 40 especially, a lot of those really deserve to have reviews of all three major official builds. So I'll probably stick to that and do it on a case-by-case basis. Another thing that so many of you said to me was, you know, I should do what I enjoy and kind of follow my instincts and follow my heart, if you will. On that, I appreciate that. I appreciate you guys caring about, you know, what I think and what I feel. And I understand that does feed back into the level of entertainment that you get from my content, because the more that I'm interested in something, or the more I have genuine feelings, you know, the deeper of feelings that I have about something, the more interesting, the more entertaining the content will be, the videos themselves will be, because you can hear the feelings in me, whether I particularly like something or I dislike it. You know, the more I feel about it, the better. So yeah, I appreciate your support in that. Also, a lot of people want to see more of the city worked on, but at the same time, this is another thing that came out of this that I was not expecting whatsoever. A lot of you chimed in with the prevailing majority opinion, as proven by a couple of polls now on the community tab on my channel, that this channel is most loved for its reviews. So many of you don't even care about my city because there are so many other people that just do a city or just do custom builds, and they don't, you know, review 300-400 products in a year. So they have a lot more time to do that, or they collaborate and have multiple people working together over the course of many years and are able to do so much more than I am able to do. So or beyond that, you just don't like the stuff that I build. All that's super valid, 100% valid, and pushes back into the reviews versus custom stuff debate that I've had going with myself and that I've shared out a little bit for a while now, especially this year, and pushes me more towards splitting the channel into two. Just more push in that direction. So that's more for me to think about for right now. I am going to go ahead and get these reviewed. I am going to continue to work on the city for sure. But thank you again for your feedback about this stuff in particular. It was absolutely fantastically valuable, so much more valuable than looking at numbers. I appreciate your time. I appreciate your dedication. I appreciate your support, and I'm going to act on that. And I think the next thing that'll be coming up, because that's an empty box, will be the review of just the main build here. I will talk about the alternate builds though. Anytime I get a 3-in-1 build, or even if I get a build or a set that's mostly one thing and then they show an alternate, I'm going to talk about that alternate. I'm going to show you the pictures. I'm going to tell you what I think about it. At the very least, show you pictures in the instructions or something. So I'm not going to ignore the alternates, but I'm only going to build physically the main build for those where the alternates are forgettable. So that's most likely coming up next. I'll take care of this, some other Halo stuff, and just continue on. So that's it for this video. Thank you again. I'll talk to you again very soon.